to Unlocking Your Truth, another podcast by Dr. Leslie Phillips.
Hello listeners, welcome to Unlocking Your Truth with Dr. Leslie. My name is Dr. Leslie Phillips and I am your host. And if you're joining us for the first time, let me explain a little bit about Unlocking Your Truth. Unlocking Your Truth is a talk show where we like to talk about metaphysics and spirituality. And every show we have a different topic, and we love it when you phone up and share your opinions and your comments. And of course, usually what we do in the first part of the show is we have a topic, and then we open the phone lines. We open the phone lines for you listeners to phone us up and to ask your questions and get an intuitive insight about anything that you want to ask about. Whether you've got a question about your life purpose, whether you've got a question about your career, whether you've got a question about your health, or anything else. If you want to ask about your spiritual abilities, I'm here to give you a spiritual insight on anything that you would like to ask about. And of course, I'm also joined by Corey.
Hello.
Just joined me now. And so today's topic, and I should mention actually what our phone number is, what our call number is. So the number is 604-504-7441, extension 4142. And the email address is info@drlesliephillips.com. So if you are a little bit shy and you don't want to be heard on air, you can certainly email us, although, you know, we always use a false name. So if you're worried about your friends and family suddenly recognizing you and you don't want to be recognized, then you just have to give us a different name when you call in, and nobody needs to know who you are. So you're listening to us live this week on CIVL on 101.7 FM. We're broadcasting across the Fraser Valley in BC. And you can also catch us on the podcast. So if you're listening to the podcast rather than the live show, welcome to you as well, listeners. So today's topic, I thought would be a great topic for us to talk about, is body awareness. Now, we talk a lot on this show about you are not your body. You are spirit, right? You're not your physical body. Your body is your vehicle that you've created to basically, it's like your vehicle that you drive around on this planet. It takes you from A to B. It helps you serve your purpose. It helps you have your experiences here in physical reality. But it's not who you are. You are an eternal spirit. You're an eternal consciousness. But it's very, very important that you take care of your body, because if you don't take care of your body, then really having a life purpose in a way, or a bigger aspect that you're wanting to do in the world doesn't matter, because your body won't be there to support you. It's meant to be your partner this lifetime. You're meant to, it's like a two-way conversation. Your body's meant to listen to spirit, but also the opposite of that is true. Listen to your body. We'll talk about the mind-body-spirit connection, don't we, our listeners? But what does that really mean? Well, there is an interplay between your emotions, between your thoughts, and your physical nature. And so if you're having low vibration thoughts, if you're having unsupportive beliefs, or if you're having low vibration emotions on a frequent basis, then that low vibration energy frequency is in your body. It's affecting your body, and it can lead to physical disease when it's a long-standing thing. So your job, you, the spiritual consciousness, is to come in and take charge of all of that, and raise the vibration of your body, and take care of it so that it can be your healthy companion through life. And when you think about it, not taking care of the body is a huge issue in our world. Not for everybody, but when you look around, there's so much junk food. People being couch potatoes, not taking care of their diet, not exercising, eating disorders, or the opposite, people pushing their body too far. You can go in the opposite direction as well. Push your body to the limits, and that can be cruel to the body also. Feeding it the wrong thoughts, feeding it the wrong emotions. So listeners, just ask yourself right now, how much do you pay attention to your body, and how much do you ignore it? Because sometimes the most spiritual of people are focusing up on in the ethers, in the spiritual realm, and forgetting about the body completely. So what's true for you? How much do you listen to your body? How much do you pay attention to it? How much do you ignore it? So that's what I wanted to talk about today, is body awareness, and how you, the spiritual consciousness, can become more aware of your body. We're going to talk about that a little bit, and maybe just a little bit about some of the different systems in the physical body as well. So how can you, the spiritual consciousness, be more aware of your body? Well, all of those mindfulness practices that are out there can really help you with that. Because what they do is they get you to focus on the body. Whether you're focusing on your breath, if you're really focusing, do it now. Just breathe in deeply and breathe out deeply. If you're focusing on your breath, you're focusing on your body, because it's your lungs that are doing the breathing. If you're focusing on any of your physical senses, you're focusing on your body, and you're becoming aware of your body. If you're focusing on what you can hear, what you can smell, what you can taste, that's bringing you into the physical awareness. Now, let's ask the question, what energies have you stored in your body? And how do you become aware of it? Well, of course, if the body has developed an illness, it's screaming at you loud and clear, and it can be really, really hard to ignore that, can't it? But before that happens, it can be an emotional disturbance that sometimes is easier to ignore. It can be a thought pattern that sometimes is easy to be ignorant of. So how do we start to get on top of that? And meditation and mindfulness really are the number one things. So we've talked about mindfulness, which is just being really mindful of your physical reality, of your physical body, and meditation. And of course, I'm always talking on this show about being grounded. When you're grounded, you're in your body, and you start to become aware of your body, and your body starts to become aware of you because you're present in your body. So being grounded can really, really help. And you might want to check out, there's a podcast where we talk all about grounding and take you through a short grounding meditation. And the other one is centering. Centering is where you place your consciousness in the center of your head, and you can really start to develop your clarity and neutrality and observe what's going on in your reality. So being grounded, being centered, and being mindful, and just really starting from that perspective to just be in your body and scan your body and be aware. Be aware of everything that's going on in there. Now, your body, in a way, spirit is simple, but your body, in a way, it's a fairly complex organism, isn't it? There's so many different moving parts to your body. We have about 10 or so different body systems in the physical body, and all of the body systems and organs in the body your physical system relates to your spiritual system. So there's a relationship between your chakras, between your energy channels, and between the physical aspects of the body. So, for example, all the endocrine glands are associated with your chakras. Now, we can have a tendency, depending on our psyche, our psychological makeup, and depending on what little patterns that we've got ourselves into with our thoughts and with our emotions, then we can have areas of vulnerability in our body. So, you can have people that say, well, I have lots of allergies, or my vulnerability is in my digestive system, or it's in my lungs. I have a tendency to get colds and sore throats and pneumonia and bronchitis. And so everyone has their little, points of weakness and, or vulnerability. And certain areas in the body, and I'm being a bit sort of prescriptive here, just to illustrate it, but and that's to say that we can have a tendency to store certain types and patterns of thoughts and emotions within certain body systems. So if you think about the digestive system and the excretory system and what that represents in a metaphorical sense, because we digest our food, and sometimes we can have issues digesting life experiences. Sometimes we can have difficulty processing something, and when we have life experiences that go on for a long time that we have difficulty digesting and processing, then that can all get laid down and stored in your digestive system and eventually lead to digestive problems. Or, we can be resistant and not be able to take something in, right? And that can have an effect on the digestive system. Or we can hold on and not be able to let stuff go. And then you can be constipated in your digestive system. And we can talk about this for all the different systems of the body. So, for example, in the respiratory system, where we're breathing in and we're breathing out, it can represent your ability to take in life, allowing yourself to receive, and release. There can be a tendency to store grief and depression in the respiratory system. And if we talk about, let's pick another one. Let's talk about the musculoskeletal system. I mean, that's really your foundation. That's your framework of support and movement and flexibility. So it represents support and movement and flexibility. And so anytime you've got stiffness in an area of your back, what area of your life have you become inflexible in, or where are you feeling like you're lacking support? And the lower back can often be financial. The mid back can sometimes be to do with guilt, or, get this thing off my back. And the upper back can be to do with emotional support, giving and receiving of emotional support. And so when we start to be aware of our body and we start to really look at areas of discomfort in the body, whether they're physical or whether they're just a feeling of tension or stress in a particular area, we can learn a lot about ourselves, and we can learn a lot about what we ought to be paying attention to in our lives. Now, the reproductive system is a common one that really is about self-expression and creativity and being yourself, but people tend to store sometimes feelings of unworthiness in their reproductive system, of not being good enough, not being enough. And I could go on, listeners. The endocrine system, all of those different glands in your body, the adrenal glands, which are to do with the fight or flight. If they're overstimulated, then, there can be anxiety and stress, or the opposite can be true defeatism. What's the point? The thyroid can be to do with humiliation. When's it going to be my turn to be heard? The thymus, feeling attacked. People are out to get me. So there are certain patterns that show up commonly if you start to look at people and their physical complaints. The circulatory system and the cardiovascular system represents life force, the circulation of joy. And so if you have problems with your circulation, then it can be due to a lack of joy in your life. High blood pressure can be long-standing emotional problems. Low blood pressure can be defeatism or feeling unloved as a child. Hardening of the arteries, hardened recalcitrant beliefs, and so on. So I'm going to get ready to go for a break in a moment. So, Corey, is that all making sense to you?
Yes.
Yes. So have you noticed any patterns in people you've worked with or in yourself, in your own body?
Oh, definitely. It's I find when my emotions are not in tune, or my body is not in tune, if there's something wrong, one affects the other ones drastically. And it's a very interesting life we live, this wonderful body of ours.
Mm-hmm. So, listeners, you're listening to Unlocking Your Truth with Dr. Leslie and with Corey. And in today's show, we've been talking about body awareness, and how it's really important for you to be aware of your body and be aware of how your thoughts and emotions are affecting your body and what your body is saying to you when it has a physical symptom. What kind of attention it needs from you. What does it need you to do differently in order to create the healing that you need. So we're going to be back after the break, and after the break we will be opening the phone lines. We don't have anyone being interviewed today, and so the rest of the show is really all for you, listeners. And we do have a big long list of email questions as well to catch up on, but please do call us. The number is 604-504-7441, extension 4142. Once again, that's 604-504-7441, extension 4142. And we'll be back after the break. Hello, listeners. Welcome back to Unlocking Your Truth with Dr. Leslie. My name is Dr. Leslie Phillips, and I apologise for that you could hear us talking. We've got a bit of a technical thing, but anyway, we are now taking your calls on 604-504-7441, extension 4142. And also your email questions. And so, Corey, we don't have a phone, but do we have an email question that we can?
Of course we do.
Good.
Would you like to hear one?
I would, please.
I'd like to see you.
Okay, well,
I can't see you.
Hang on a second. Let me adjust my screen.
Thank you. Okay, I have a question from Sunny. And she'd like to know, I feel like there's no purpose in my life. Could that be due to a past life?
Okay, Sonny, let's take a look at that for you. So you feel no purpose, and is it due to a past life? So give me a moment. I'm going to go into my trance and see if I can find that out for you. So there is a past life coming up, but before I read it, I'll just say that if something is showing up in this life, then there's also, it is to do with this life. It's not, you can't separate your past life from your current life, but there is a past life, and it's about halfway down your timeline, and I'm going to take a look and see what that is now. So, give me a moment. It's a Japanese past life, and it's a past life where you were actually a warrior of some kind, a bit like a samurai warrior, and it looks like you gave your life to a cause, fighting for a cause, and that you did your very, very best. It looks like you gave up a lot of other aspects of life in order to give of yourself, to be of service as a soldier. And so it looks like you were often traveling. It didn't allow you really to have a family and things like that. And I'm seeing that there was a mission that you were involved with that was not successful, that you were blamed for, and that you were beheaded as a consequence. And that whole thing, there was such disillusionment, because you said, well, you know what, I gave everything, I gave my all, I put everything in to serve this purpose, and at the end of the day, what did it mean? It meant nothing. And so I'm seeing that you came in this lifetime with a karmic pattern left over from that said, what's the point? What is the point of me putting my energy behind causes and getting enthusiastic over things, because they just get shot down in flames, or I just get shot down in flames. And so, I'll give you a hand bringing it into present time, but really this is about being in present time and getting over things that you perceive to be past time failures. And, I'm seeing that that's the main block to feeling like there's no purpose to your life, that it is it's the expectation of what it means to put your energy behind something as well. And so really what I would say is, choose what you choose because you love it and you feel passionate about it, and don't expect. Do it for the joy in the moment of doing it for the joy in the moment. And then you can't go wrong because you're not having expectations and disillusionment. But yes, that's what I'm seeing it was, and we've present timed that past life, and the energy around it looks a lot better. And it feels to me like now you're able to come in and really own your energy in the current life. And looks like in doing that, we've helped you just reconnect with source energy. And so write to us and let us know if you notice a change, because I think that you will. So do we have another one, Corey? Corey, do we have another one? Another question.
I sort of feel like I associated with that.
Yes, you went off somewhere
things
there.
I want to do are getting shot down. All my enthusiasm is being killed. It's a question from Melanie. Melanie would like to know, I feel like I have a block that's stunting my growth spiritually and in general. I was curious if you could see anything about that.
So Melanie's feeling like she has a block that's stunting her growth and... What did it say, Corey, please?
I feel like I have a block that's stunting my growth spiritually and in general. I was curious if you could see anything about that.
Okay, let me take a look. I'm going to take a look, Melanie, about a block stunting your growth spiritually and otherwise. Well, I am seeing that there is an energy in your space that feels like judgment and it feels like invalidation and judgment, and that's a vibration that's getting in the way of you believing in yourself, and I'm seeing it's actually originally it's not yours. It's a vibration that you took on from one of your parents, and I feel like it's your mother. So somebody, who has some deep self-worth issues and high levels of self-criticism that you were exposed to in your life and learned to do that internally within yourself. And I'm seeing that is the block. It causes you not to believe in yourself, causes you not to believe that what you want is even possible. And so it looks like for you, letting go of foreign energy and working on letting go in any way that you catch yourself judging and criticizing yourself or feeling that you don't deserve. So that's what I'm seeing for you. And is there a quick question that we can do before the next break, Corey? Sure.
Let me check here. I guess it's as quick as you want to answer it.
Yeah.
What color is my aura?
Oh, that's a funny one, isn't it?
And that's from Jessie.
Yeah. So, your aura isn't just one color, Jessie. It's many colors. It's your coat of many colors. Your aura has many layers. Each layer emanates from one of your chakras. There are 7 main chakras. There are 7 main layers to your aura. And it's constantly shifting and changing as you go through different life experiences. So your aura isn't just one color. But if I was to tune into the prominent growth cycle that's showing up in your energy field right now, then I'm seeing it has a vibration that's orange. And I'm seeing that it relates to well, it looks like you're working on on a cycle that has to do with creativity and how to get things done. And it looks like the challenge that you're having is not being grounded enough, and so a lot of scattered running around stuff that's happening. All right, we're going to go to a break, and we will be back in about 4 or 5 minutes after these few messages. Listeners, welcome back to Unlocking Your Truth with Dr. Leslie. My name is Dr. Leslie Phillips, and I am your host. And this evening on Unlocking Your Truth, we've been talking about body awareness. And we were talking about how your thoughts and how your emotions can affect your physical body, and how it's so very important to be aware of your body and to communicate with your body and to take care of it, because it is your vehicle for this lifetime. So we do have the phone line open on 604-504-7441, extension 4142, if you would like to call us with a question. And you can also email info@drlesliephillips.com. And that's 604-504-7441. 7441 extension 4142. And we'll take another email question if that's okay. Corey, do you have one lined up for us? Okay. So, do you have another email question?
Yes. What is getting in the way of my having healthy relationships from Jane?
What is getting in the way of your having healthy relationships from Jane? Well, let's take a look at that. Gosh. Okay, Jane. Well, the first thing that comes up is it looks like you're not very grounded and you're actually not very in your body. And it looks like that, gosh, I would just say, it looks to me like there are perhaps some things going on in your life that are unhealthy behaviors that mean that you're not in charge of your life and your reality. And we've been talking about that on the show, whether it's drugs or whether it's alcohol or whether it's other things. And so I'm seeing that for you to focus on yourself and focus on your relationship with yourself and focus on your relationship with your own body and your own self first, because we attract who we are, and so we have to have a healthy relationship with ourselves first in order to be able to create healthy relationships with others. So that's really what I'm seeing for you, is that it really has to do with that it has to start with you. So Corey, is there another question?
Yeah, from Casey. Casey wants to know, hello, are there any elements that I'm overlooking or detours I'm on that I should be aware of on my journey towards living the brightest, fullest, most satisfying life possible?
So, Casey wants to know if there are any detours.
You keep answering them so quickly, we're going to run out of questions tonight, Dr. Leslie.
Okay, let me see. Let me look at Casey. So Casey wanting to know if there are any detours. Well, let me just read the growth cycle that you're in, Casey. It looks like you're working on owning your space. And it looks like there are some vulnerabilities to you owning your space. And I'm seeing the less you own your space, the less able you are to fulfill your purpose. And the more you own your space, the more able you are to fulfill your purpose. And I'm seeing that you have a lot of energy tied up at the moment, just dealing with other people who invade your space, other people who judge you, other people who try to control you, other people who invalidate you, just other people who take a bite out of you, really. It's taking a bite out of your energy. And so for you, I'm seeing the key really is, it's like to own your space, and let go of people who are not being respectful of you, and who are not being respectful of your energetic space, and who are invalidating you, because I'm just seeing that it's exhausting. It's exhausting, and that sort of sets you on a detour. All right, let's see what else we can see. So it's like, and again, it's like the more you can focus on yourself and your relationship with source energy, and let go of ways that your energy is just being dissipated into drama, which is unnecessary. And I'm seeing when you do that, there's no stopping you. When you're focused on your relationship with source energy, when you're focused on your relationship with God, when you're owning your space, that then it's like you can create what you want. So I'm ready for the next one. Corey?
This is from Mary. Mary wants to know, I need to unblock, rediscover myself, let go of uncertainty. How do I start? I'm stuck and unsure and need to choose a new career and life path.
So Mary feels blocked and feels unsure and has some choices to make. So I'm going to tune into Mary's energy. Well, I'm seeing you. I'm probably going to say some similar things to the last caller, although your energy actually looks quite... What your energy looks like is it looks like it's scattered. It looks like your energy is spread out because you're taking responsibility for a whole bunch of stuff and people that aren't your responsibility, and that causes your thoughts to be scattered and less focused, and it causes you to feel like you don't have control over your life, because it just looks like you're running around left, right, and center. So gather your energy in, pull your energy back to you. Stop giving it away. Everyone else has their own energy and is quite capable of looking after themselves, and sometimes they might tell you that it's your fault and you have to fix them and you have to fix it, and it's not true. So, pull your energy back to you, and the more you pull your own energy back to you, the more you'll feel in charge and the more confident that you'll feel, and the more you'll be able to tune into your own answers. I'm also seeing that you're paying attention to all the stuff that's going on around you more than you're paying attention to being inward looking and being more introspective and meditative and connecting with source energy. And again, the more that you can do that, focus your energy inward, pull your energy out of other people's affairs and other things that you're not really meant to be responsible for, then I'm seeing that would really, really help you to gain access to your answers. So I think we'll have one more question for this evening. So what's our last question going to be?
This is from Spring. Spring says, I've been told recently that I'm an empath, but what this means for me is still unclear. I feel like I've recently awoken. I cannot, however, determine what my purpose is. I feel very unfulfilled and misdirected. Any advice?
That was a long one. I think that she's can't identify her purpose. Any advice? Is that the gist of it, Corey?
Yep.
Spring. Okay, so I'm just looking to see. And, gosh. Alright, so there's a bit of a commonality between the last three questions. So, and again, so you're trying to identify your purpose and you feel lost. I'm seeing you also need to own your space and be more grounded and be more present in your body. I'm seeing that you're feeling lost because there's foreign energy in your space. And whenever there's foreign energy in your space, it's very, very confusing. And because you're tuning into other people's information and other people's energy. Rather than your own. And I'm seeing that that's your main problem. It's like there are other energies in your space and more foreign energy in your space than your own energy. And while that's the case, it's really difficult for you to know your own purpose. So again, I would just say, check out for everyone that we've answered the question today, check out the podcast on grounding. And just work on grounding, work on releasing foreign energy, work on bringing your energy back to yourself, work on connecting with source. So connect with source, release foreign energy, gather your own energy in, and that will bring you that focus that you need to get your own answers. Well, listeners, you've been listening to Unlocking Your Truth with Dr. Leslie. My name is Dr. Leslie Phillips, and I'm your host. I'll be back next week at 7 o'clock. on 101.7 FM and broadcasting live on CIVL. We'll see you in a week.
Thank you for joining us. You've been listening to another Unlocking Your Truth podcast by Dr. Leslie Phillips. For more information, go to our website at drlesleyphillips.com. That's drlesleyphillips.com, where you can ask questions or send her an email, and there's many free gifts on there for you as well. Come back again.